One event is down on the Stampede ticket, and our next event is called the Meatgrinder, where the venue we are heading to is Sidewinder Gulch, and where we now have to drive a rally car. Now, of course, I've already driven the Ronin, so I don't think I'm going to use that again. Although, there is one rally car I've only used once up to this point, and that is the Wolf Revo. And I think this is the car I'm going to use again, because officially, yeah, this'll work. I've driven this car once. Or only driven this car once. Can you remember the golden path for the rally car on this track? No. Me neither. But I've got an excuse. I have no short-term memory. It's the medication. Well, I think I know how to... I think I know how to get a bike around this circuit. I'm also pretty sure I know how to get a mud plugger as well as a big rig around this circuit. So, I think, as far as I know, the rally car route around this circuit is basically to stay out of the mud. Although in saying that, we've got a plethora of different vehicles in this race, as of which we have racing trucks, bikes, and big rigs. So this, I can probably tell, is going to be an ordeal. So, take 3 of this because overall the final lap is anything but friendly to me. Because even if I make the slightest of misjudgments cordially, this AI will just come in and technically destroy me. As in, they'll basically destroy me like I just caused a riot, is what they'll do to me. And that's more or less what the final lap has basically been, a riot. And oddly enough, to quoting Kaiser Chiefs, I really do predict a riot. And oddly enough, a riot is exactly what I've had to withstand up to this point. As much as I've really hated it. And things are going anything but well at the moment. As I would have predicted. And still trying to dive down and make the road I should make, I think. Since the inside line does appear to be the preferable line also. And at the moment, just trying to keep myself in contention and also trying to lick my wounds. Regardless of how reckless and unforgiving his AI really can be. And I'm not kidding when I say that, they really are reckless and unforgiving. And apparently the water I'm sipping also continues to make me burp. Maybe it's because I'm drinking it too fast. Or something like that. Either that or I just cannot avoid the carnage. As much as I desperately try to. Well, might have to blow myself up at some point. Just to, you know, more or less prove how much of a slop artist I really am. Back up to the lead once again, whilst also driving a shitty car. Basically, driving a pile of shit. Somehow, yet somehow a still drivable pile of shit because of how destroyed this thing is. But somehow I still do it. I still drive this thing. So we continue. I knew that was gonna happen. I was just waiting for it. Hey, my car's not shit anymore. It looks like an actual car once again. And yep, that was a wrestling match I was not gonna win. As much as I really tried to fight hard there with the Kalahari, I was fighting hard to go for the win. But then obviously just like that, he basically wrecked me, as I would have anticipated. Because he kept me boxed on the rocks. And I more or less knew that was going to result in a very huge accident. So in terms of an arm wrestling match, I cannot beat him. But on pure speed, I might be able to beat him. If I am diligent and lucky enough to get the win this time, compared to the previous attempts I've had where they've not come to fruition, where they've not managed to come into complete fruition. And I just basically took the quickest route I could find for that section of the course, and I'm still continuing to do so. As it currently stands. Okay, just gotta hope this does not blow to shit. If I can do that, then maybe there is a possibility of me winning this race. Okay, come on, don't flinch, don't flinch, don't flinch, don't flinch. Okay, come on, don't flinch, don't flinch, don't flinch, don't flinch, don't flinch, don't flinch. Okay, there we go. Took me 2 failed attempts to do it, but in the end, as I would have anticipated here at Sidewinder Gulch, I eventually got the win, and they are still wrecking behind me. They are wrecking very hardly back there. Now I'm just focusing on my thumbnail, even though I'm pretty sure I'll probably crash at some point, and then this thing may be back to normal. Or if that doesn't happen, I'll just have to focus on my shots anyway. But you know, we'll just see what happens. Oh, and already someone just tumbled into the ditch. I got a feeling that was probably the Drago that did that, unless it was the Nord Viking. Well, don't know for sure, to be completely honest, but you know. Yeah, by the way, Sidewinder Gulch is actually a pretty good track overall, in spite of its flaws in certain areas. I still think it's a good circuit. Certainly a challenging circuit. That is, you know, forgiving. That probably won't be a bad shot. Well, anyways. Here is the final classification order. So, I won in the end by less than a second over King Leo, who I think was in the Springbok Kalahari, and then Solomon completes the podium in the Patriot Surger. Then in the Italia Gagliano we had Kerry Hill ahead of Miguel Keenanen, who was in the Voodoo Iguana. Then in 6th position we had Plumpton ahead of Pete S in the Castro Varadero. Then it was Steve Humphries in 8th position in what I think is the Molotov Drago, followed by Rickson and Zelada, and then from 11th to 14th we had Hunter in the other Revo ahead of Zian, McCloskey 13th, and Pillion finishes in last. Another Sidewinder Gulch event is down, and I have to admit, it was easier than I thought it was going to be. And thankfully the game has not crashed yet. And oh god, we're going back to the Mesa once again. Chariot of the Gods is our next event. Stay tuned for the chaotic craziness.
Got no reason to say a thing. She just gave me